Good morning, everybody. Your host Dupsy is here again for our Sunday sermon. How are you guys? I hope you're all doing great. I'm so sorry for coming late. It's just 9:30 a.m. in Canada, so that's I'm just waking up. So I'm so sorry, everybody, for coming late this morning. So we'll begin with a story that one man is gonna um play a video or do a readout for us. Just give me a minute. I'll come back after the reading. Thanks. Woman, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you, Dupsy. So this is the narrative of a miracle worker and what seems to be one of the biggest problems that we're contending with within the Nigerian space, which is, of course, religion. And this particular preacher man that we're talking about, Dupsy, is the shining beacon within Christendom, is the rising star, is the man of the moment, and is the one that they are all running to. Of course, Jerry Eze, a clergyman, Jerry Eze, reacts after a little girl questioned a testimony by a member who said their chopped off finger grew back. So I know that the dead have been raised. So it's not beyond the realms of religion for a chopped off finger to grow back. Clergyman Jerry Eze reacts after a little girl questioned a testimony by a member who said their chopped off finger grew back. So now how this is justified. Popular Nigerian clergyman Jerry Eze has reacted after a mother shared her conversation with her daughter, who was shocked by a testimony. A member who follows Pastor Jerry Eze's ministry gave a testimony that their finger grew back after being cut off. A mother and her child who listened to this testimony had a conversation about it afterwards. The mother said her daughter asked her how possible it is for a finger to grow back, and she told her daughter that she is equally surprised, but what God cannot do does not exist. The mother explained that another person later testified that their finger grew back after being chopped off. Pastor Jerry Eze found the mother's post about her conversation with her daughter, and he shared this on his Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, To our great God be all the glory. What God cannot do does not exist. So this is the storyline, I think, coming from the actual protagonist within that space. Ola Oluwa Adeniyi is the person that put it out. Princess, so that is probably her daughter, Princess. So, mommy, the testimonies on Jerry Uche Chuku Eze's program is scary. How can a cut off finger grow back? Me, I am confused too. Even Pastor Jerry is speechless. But then, what God cannot do, what God cannot do, and then that ends with a question mark. And then the daughter completes that. It says, does not exist. This was my conversation with Princess on Thursday, only for another person to share another testimony of cut off fingers growing back on Friday. It's doing my head in, but in all, what God cannot do does not exist. So that is the main protagonist there. That will be, what's her name again? Ola Oluwa Adeni. So that's Ola there with her daughter, Princess, and that is the storyline then. So then Pastor Jerry Eze then he responded to that strap line on social media. So you can see him there, real Jerry Eze. To our great God be all the glory. That ends with an exclamation mark. What God cannot do does not exist, and that ends with a double exclamation mark. So with him now responding in that manner, Dupsy, he's giving affirmation then to the idea that in his church, even chopped off heads can be put back. What are you then making then of this phenomenon that this guy now on the verge of claiming that it's able to resuscitate the dead.
Thank you very much, one man. So I think this is the latest scam in Nigeria now, because this guy has loads of people attending his church, both from diaspora and in Nigeria. So it's the latest one now. And what's so painful here is that when I think it's China that made that law that you should not take a child that's not up to 18 into any religion home. So you see why they said that? Because they need a fresh brain for critical thinking. So the young child just thought about it, that how can a finger grow back? But they killed that inside her already. So that kind of a person, her, she won't be able to use her brain any longer because she tried to use it. Even her mother did not help her to think it through, that how can a finger grow back? Do you know how we are having a lot of problems in our country called Nigeria? Because people are dumbed down in these religious homes. So our biggest problem in Nigeria is all this religion home, churches, mosques, and all this. Even if you're a traditionalist, I don't care. All of those people have damaged people's brain. That is where we can move forward. Do you understand, woman? So when a child is asking a critical question that needs to be answered critically, you're dumbing her down that it's possible what God does not do does not exist. I don't even know where they coined that word from. Because there are a lot of things that God does not do that requires human brain to do. And that is why he did not create us a zombie. He gave us the brain that we are supposed to use on this earth to move humanity forward. So somebody like this guy, because I watch him a lot, he will be doing as if he's not mentally stable. If you see him praying, you'll be scared because he will just be praying as if there's something wrong with his brain. This particular guy called Jerry. So I don't know, I don't understand how we can eradicate this problem for our country because it is a big deal. Religion is a big deal. And I'm not attacking Christianity alone this morning. I'm talking about all the religions in Nigeria should be eradicated for us to be able to move forward. One man, what do you have to say to that?
Yes, Dupsy, I'm not sure if Kemi wants to come in, but what stunned me is the guy now responds to the story that this lady put out in on social media. He says, "To our great God be the glory!" and exclamation mark. What God cannot do does not exist. So, with him putting that under that storyline, he's giving affirmation that this actually happened. That in his church are chopped off. We're talking about completely severed off parts of the body will grow back just from the laying of hands on you. So I'm a bit reticent. They say, "Touch
Yeah.
not my anointed." I'm a bit reticent to say this is a 419
Where did they put
program.
that one? Where did they
Eh?
put that one? Touch not my anointed. Where's
Is
that
it not
one?
you? Is it not you Christian people that is always there, always saying that touch not my anointed? Who I don't know who anointed you. Wọ́n dòróró sí ẹ lórí ni àbí kí ló
Oya
kí ló máa
òróró tàbí fi dín ẹyin àbí
you
láti
know?
dín ẹyin
But,
kù.
eh? But I'm a bit reticent to say that. But what he's saying now is that he's actually claiming that that happened.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's somewhat disturbing actually because that is quite a phenomenal claim to make
Mm,
that through prayers severed off parts. Listen, no, pay attention. No, Adupsi, you're a
yeah,
medical professional.
yeah, yeah,
They are saying that through prayers,
yeah.
severed off parts of the body can
Mm,
grow back.
mm.
Where,
And
where, where,
what's painful
where
there
is
is that they're talking to a young girl. What
even
they're not even talking to themselves.
yes, and that's the
They're talking to a
concern.
young girl that wants to think something through. They're not allowing her to think it through. Do you understand? What's so painful to me in this story. Do you understand that, woman? I'm listening to you, woman. I'm
No,
enjoying
no,
your explanation.
Dupsy, we bandy around the word indoctrination. This is
Mm.
indoctrination happening in real life because that
Mm.
little girl is incredulous. because from all of our science teachings in school and the
Imagine.
logical reasoning that they're teaching her in school, this does not cohere with logic.
Imagine.
But then by the time her mother and the pastor have bullied her, she would now go into that loop to start to have this sort of belief system,
So
and that
sad.
starts to then move her from rational reasoned thinking to
Hmm.
this highly fantasized. This is indoctrination or dupsy. And am I going too far?
No, you're
Dupsy.
not going too far. It's so painful, woman. You just so on point, woman. I'm listening.
No, no. Choma and Temi joins you. I don't know if
Oh,
they have
okay.
thoughts on. Yeah.
Okay. So which one of them wants to go first? Temi, I think Temi came first. So Temi, you can unmute. Let's listen to your
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
contribution. Good
How's everyone
morning. Good
doing?
morning. Good
It's Sunday.
morning, Temi. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's my nephew, one man. He
right.
joins us now. That's my nephew.
Oh, is it
Okay.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Eh? One of your Ajebota people, have you?
He understands Yoruba very well.
Yeah,
Okay, Temi, go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, we this topic I was thinking of since it was scheduled, and it's interesting. I also thought about how sad it is for a young girl to be almost punished for questioning or critiquing um such a miracle, right? And the thing is, I feel less worried for her. I think that this would give her more to think about from a young age. I've seen people who are, you know, critical at that age and then being pushed almost to believe it regardless. It would, fuel a fire in her to question more. And so I'm not worried for her. What I'm worried about is what's the trajectory for most Nigerians if you're so easily convinced. We're in the age of technology now. We could search up, is there anywhere else in the world that, growing of limbs is occurring? Even in other countries where they have Christianity being morphed into this miracle performance. They don't even go this far. It seems like Nigerians are very creative. We're able to create new miracles that, not even the Bible is mentioned. I haven't seen growing of limbs in the Bible, so I'm not. Anything is God is possible and all that. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on now. But what I like is the exposure. We're having this conversation before. I haven't seen this before. You know,
Tell me,
so yeah.
one thing about our country is that we don't respect science. That's why we don't pay our doctors, nurses, and all our healthcare professionals well. Nurses, doctors are so poor. Meanwhile, people like Jerry, they're multi billionaires. So they
Right.
don't respect science in Nigeria. That's why we are so static. We don't respect anything science. So
Mm.
people prefer to use their anointing oil rather than using their medication. So that's why we are still like that. A country where pastors are richer than doctors, nurses, and healthcare professionals, that country cannot move forward. That's why you see America on top because they respect the healthcare professionals. They don't joke with them. So that's why we are still there. Or continue with your submission, Tammy.
Facts. Thank you.
But
You showed. Mhm.
tell me, should this guy be arrested? Is more the point for making this outlandish, almost on the borderline of fraudulent sort of claim that he can make severed off parts of the body grow back. Should he be arrested?
That's interesting because I don't think there's even a legal jurisdiction against scamming people to this form. Like when you're performing, like let's say you have a magician who claims he could, you know, bring, reappear someone, teleport someone from one place to another, and people believe it. That's a magician performing, and okay, we call them a magician, but I think it's almost the equivalent. And what I've noticed is pastors are more famous than a lot of the celebrities in Nigeria. Pastors are more powerful than politicians because of the people who believe in them. And yeah, and again, I don't know the legal terms behind it. Can you be arrested for outsmarting your followers? That's what I need to know. But thank you.
Thanks, Demi. Chioma. Chioma Olonwiyo. The pretty Chioma, let's listen to your submission this morning. How are you, dear?
I'm fine. Good morning, Dipsy.
Good morning, darling.
Hope you're well. So,
Thank you.
I like Pastor Jerry. I don't really have like a comment, any negative comments about the headline. you know, I used to watch his live stream like maybe last year. I stopped watching. So I don't really have like a comment, but I do know that most of the testimonies are coming from real people. It may seem like unrealistic, but it's genuine from like real people in Nigeria.
So, how did you know it's genuine? How did you know
Well,
that?
I mean, there's videos of these people speaking, and
So, you
they're
don't know that they stage all these miracles? You've not
hmm?
heard of that before? You've
Excuse
not
me.
heard about staged miracles? You've
Well,
never heard of that?
I don't think these ones are staged.
Okay.
I don't have any doubts.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's a good man. Him and his wife.
So, how
His
did you know that? What did you see? How did you come into that conclusion that
that
they're
he's a good
good?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his there's another pastor here in Houston that is also Streams of Joy. He's also a pastor of the Streams of Joy for the Houston, and they're very close to me. And yeah, I just know they're good people.
Okay, Chairman. So you're saying that Jerry is a man
A
of
good,
God. We should
yeah,
be careful
yeah,
on
he's
how
a
we.
My wife follows her as well. Actually, follows
Oh,
him as well. Actually,
oh,
religiously, he
oh.
has a real catchment amongst
Mm,
middle class Nigerian women, especially. It
mm.
really has a real catchment in that area. But
Mm.
Pansat joins you as well, Dupsy. I'm not
Okay.
quite sure if he has any thoughts on this sort of thing.
Pansat is a Christian. He has to come and defend them.
good morning,
Pansat, good
brother
morning.
Pastor.
Good morning, Pansat. Can you unmute? Let's listen to you.
Yeah, yeah. Good morning to all of you.
Good
And
morning.
it's a Sunday, like you said. Chioma's got a lovely voice, and it's
Thank
quite
you, sir.
rare to see her here. One man, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, my man. I'm good.
We thank God. We should, of course, begin it today. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. That's Proverbs 2:6. So I hope we're doing this to know, to learn. It's not to knock Christians or Muslims or the faith, right? Like you said, one man, touch not my anointing. That is a biblical thing from Psalm 105, 15 to 17 in the King James Version. Say, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. Moreover, he called for a famine upon the land, blah, 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 stuff like that. So the way we have to look at this particular topic, it's one of credibility, right? Integrity, character of the claimant. In this case, there's no need for arrest. It's not the pastor himself making the claim that that's regeneration. One of the faithful. Now, there is no doubt that there is miracles, but you have to have the faith for that to happen. And I doubt these people here have those kind of faith because, as it says in Matthew 17, 20 to 21, for truly I tell you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. It's true. Now, for those people who like to see things, you don't do
Pansat,
things.
if you want to make good arguments, stop quoting the Bible. It's not
Okay,
all of us that knows what is written there. So if
I
you
know, I know.
continue to quote the Bible from, I just believe you don't want
No, but
to
that's not what I'm
convince
doing.
me,
That's
because
not
I
all I'm
don't
gonna
even know
do.
what you're talking about. If you
I know.
continue to
Relax.
quote the
Yeah,
Bible, I don't know what you're saying. If you want to talk to me with what I can understand.
I
Don't
understand.
start
I'm gonna do
quoting
that.
the Bible. I
I'm
don't
gonna
get
do
what you're
that.
talking
Yeah,
about.
hold on,
Yeah,
hold on,
yeah,
Dipsy. I'll
yeah,
do
that's
both,
fine.
and within the
Yeah.
2 minutes or so that I'm gonna speak, I'm gonna do both.
Okay, good.
Right? Yeah, we have you know there are many Christians. Even if you want,
Sorry, Pansat. Dupsy,
yeah,
check your phone. Pansat, carry on.
yeah, thank you. Even if you want to dismantle Christianity, you cannot do by fiat, right? You still have to tell them why you don't like Christianity. You cannot say you're gonna pretend like the Bible doesn't exist. It does. It's an ancient text. But anyway, that's a separate argument that I want to have with you one day. But if you want to look at it from biological perspective, from reality, right? It's not above nature. If you look, for example, in the creatures that we have that do have regeneration, you have the axolotl. It's a salamander. It's called the Mexican. It's a species of the Mexican salamander. And some fish, they regrow their limbs, right? So that's possible. We human beings don't have that. So I was saying that this is a good topic, and these ministers, they're not above criticism. But you have to do it responsibly. In the case of somebody making a claim, it's not like, hey, I dream that this is going to happen in the future. It's making a claim now. Therefore, we have to see if you're somebody who doesn't have faith to believe what they're saying, approach them respectfully, and then try to find out the limb or the finger before and after. Witnesses.
I can't approach somebody that is not mentally stable respectfully. Pansat, do you
Yes, ma'am.
understand? I
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
respect people like this that lie through their teeth. I don't respect pathological liars. I don't respect when you know that you're not mentally stable and you can't seek help. Then you start misleading multitude of people. I don't respect people like that, bro. So if you tell me to talk to them respectfully, there is no way our country is going to move forward. These are the people that are not allowing that country to move forward, and we need to eradicate them. So if you want to be a Christian, be a Christian. Don't lie through your teeth. The limbs are growing back. People will believe you and they would do what they're supposed to do when they're sick. So please,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
you see,
interested
Dubsy,
in addressing these people respectfully. This
I
is
understand,
something
but
so
don't
that's very
don't
painful to people. So don't
I
come and
know.
say, quote the Bible after some time telling us to respect anybody respectfully. I'm
Okay,
not
but
addressing
you've
them
made your point.
respectfully.
Let
They
me
should
respond to
learn how to
that
stop
point.
lying. That's the
Yeah, let
point.
me respond to that point.
Yeah.
You are not handling this particular thing properly, and you've done it several times. You know how much I love you. No problem about that, right? So it's not a knock on you, but you are making a big mistake by the kind of argument you're making right there, calling names and disrespecting people who have done nothing wrong, but you have to have faith. Now, that faith does not depend on that pastor. I could go to his church. I'm not gonna do as he's doing. If he's talking,
Apologies,
biblically,
Pansat, but you said
yeah,
one word there that I've always wanted to, and it's not really so much for this session, but just give me a little soupçon of a response to it.
yeah.
Is faith necessarily an abdication of logic? Because I do not see that the two can cohabit. So is faith, by the very token of it, necessarily an abdication of logic?
Not necessarily. You have to understand faith to be a complete trust or confidence in someone or something. You just have confidence, right? Belief, conviction, credence, reliance. It's not just biblical ecclesiastically. It's something you do every day. Like when you talk. you're going to say, tomorrow is Monday, I'm going to work. Right? You have faith that you're going to go to work tomorrow. You don't even know if the sun. Now, somebody could challenge you on that and say, look, how do you know that sun is not going to fall from the skies overnight? But you have confidence that's not going to happen. You have trust in that. You do it all the time. When you go to school, you know that when you come out, you're going to get a job. That's what faith is. That's what confidence is. Now, the Bible has to be written in a language. It doesn't make it particular to that particular language. It's like me. Sometimes when I'm talking, I would say, I have many virtues, but righteousness is my most cherished, right? Of which I'm very proud. And it's true. But I don't mean righteousness like the Lord Jesus Christ, like I'm going to heaven or something like that, right? Righteousness just is from being right. So that question you asked, a very good one, and I want Dupsy. Dupsy is my woman on your show. I have a lot of respect for her. She's a very beautiful voice, very strong voice, and she seeks the truth. But she gets religion wrong, Christianity. Now, when we talk about religion, that's only one. That's Christianity. The rest of them are, I don't know what to say. It's a Sunday, so I won't say it. So faith is necessary. There is no human being who doesn't have faith. You have to have faith in pretty much everything you do, else you'll be untrusting. Now, it's good to be trustworthy, but it's even better to be trusting. If this pastor, I don't know who he is, that's the way faith works. If he's talking about the Lord and he's really talking about the Lord and the Bible, he doesn't have to be a saint for you to receive your blessing and your miracle. So you have to, I know I'm going on and on, and others want to talk here. I want Madame Dupsy to, every day you wake up, you have to say, Lord, I ask you to help me make good use of the wisdom you give me every day. Sometimes my choices may not seem clear. You're not the author of confusion. But I know I have an enemy who wants to deceive and confuse me. So please instruct me and give me a heart for your wisdom, a growing desire for understanding and insight. So you have to don't explore in conclusion with what man said. It's not devoid of reason, of course not. But don't let what bad actors in religion as well do to make you get yourself shut off from the word of God. How can you? Do you know what happens? It's instant when you cut off the Lord.
Pansad, you're my darling, eh?
I do.
You know that I've got nothing but love for you, Pansad.
Thank you.
But if you say the word of God, you have to be very specific. Having a book that you guys read or the Islamic people read doesn't mean it's the word of God. I believe in God. I don't believe in your religion. I don't believe in any religion, but I believe in God. And I'm always saying that to you so that you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a Buddhist. I'm nothing, but I believe in God. But you think I don't believe in God. That's the main issue here. You think that I believe in God, Pansat. I continually say that on this platform. But I don't believe in all this religion that's controlling people's lives, not letting people have critical mind to be able to move this world forward. I'm against them. They want to control people's mind. That is what I'm against.
Amen.
Pansat.
You know what? What you just said
Yeah.
there, first of all, it's
Yeah.
true, right?
Yeah.
You and I have had this debate a couple of times, and I've
Yeah.
seen you. And what you say right there, there's no better glory you could give to God than what you said. Now, what is the Bible? The Bible is a remarkable collection of ancient writings Christians believe to be God's revelation to his people, right? So it's like a library of books. God is infinite. God is bigger than the Bible. But like now, we have the advantage of looking into the cosmos, right? So look at the universe. Look at how big, infinite you have. All these. I mean, one man. I don't know if you try to look into. You try to get into everything. So I hope I know you probably have looked into the cosmos and look at the universe, right? Galaxies upon billions and trillions of galaxies. Even when you listen, maybe you go to NASA channel and you listen to scientists talk about the universe, then it's like they're talking like Genesis, right? It's incredible. There's no beginning, there's no end. When they send the telescope up there, where they thought there was a big bang, then they discover a whole lot more galaxies that are bigger than what they should be. You know what? You understand what I'm saying? And they're theorizing, promulgating the idea of multiple universes, multiple. As this is like one bubble. So think about that, Doopsy. So what you say is a true God's person. That's one thing. That curiosity you have and condemning this is because if you actually try to confine God, that alone could be a sin itself. God is too big for. I mean, you have to be a dummy to say there's no God. You have to be dumb as a rock, right? So, but this on this planet where we are, it's like a dust, a little speck of dust in a useless part of the universe. So,
all right, Pansat, let's hop on to the next topic because we have quite a few topics to cover, and Doopsy is only available for X amount of time. Pansat, this may tickle you. As a single woman in her 30s, you have failed in life if you do not have a booming career, business, or you are not living the baby girl lifestyle. So this is a femininity coach saying this. So let's listen to her words, and then Doopsy takes it from the top. So let's listen to what she has to say.
As a single lady in her 30s, if you don't have a booming career, a booming business, or you are not living the baby girl lifestyle, I'm sorry to say you have failed in life. What were you doing with your 20s? Your 20s was supposed to be for your self-discovery and self-building. Didn't you invest in yourself? Didn't you invest in your business? Didn't you invest in your career? Didn't you invest in your lifestyle, in your growth? Because 30s is actually supposed to be a retirement plan for ladies. It's supposed to be the period you retire from the streets. And when I say from the streets, is the period you retire from self-discovery and explorations for you to focus, to be streamlined and focus on something you want to do for the rest of your life. So if at 30 you have not yet figured out these things, you are headed for depression. Because think about it, if you are 30 at single, you should be rich. You will be headed for depression because at that age, all your friends are getting married. All the eligible single guys that were supposed to marry you are probably already married or they are getting married next week. Married women will start seeing you like a threat because they'll believe you want to snatch their husbands. And then married men will see you like an asset to lick and chop, and then they'll dump you. So if you don't have something tangible going on for you, you are headed for depression. That is why you should work so hard in your 20s to make up for these things. But it is not too late. Don't give up. After all, what God cannot do does not exist. And besides, I'm here to give you some tips and strategies on how to find your steps back to fall into any of these categories I've listed. So if you are 30 and above and you are not in any of these four categories, kindly click the bio, the link in my bio. That's my WhatsApp number. Click the link in my bio for a session that will re-strategize your life. You can't be doing the same thing every day and expect different results. You need a different strategy to get you to where you aspire to be. Right? So click the link on my bio and chat me up on WhatsApp for a session.
So there it is, Doopsy. Is that a dose of reality, or is that lady just been extreme?
She just said something. What God does not do does not exist. And only what God does not do is sọnù. So What I say is that a lot of people are deluded through this their uh religion and what they believe in. So when you say a girl in her 30s, if she's not made already, it's good. If you can be hardworking in your 20s and you reap the fruit in your 30s, it's good. But don't generalize. Don't condemn. Some people are late comers. So don't just say if you're not making it at 30s, you're not good enough. You're this. Married women sees you as competition. Married men sees you. No, don't say that. Some people have been working on something,
Is that
and
not
it's
true
not.
though? What she said.
It's. I don't believe in that. Don't condemn anybody. Don't put people under pressure. I'm always saying that one man. Don't put
But
anybody under
sorry to
pressure.
say, but is
Yeah.
the pressure not already there?
It
Because
is there, but don't
if
look
you
at
look
it.
at
It's through their religion that they're bringing the
you can't
pressure.
escape it, though. You can't escape it. If you look at the timeline that she's speaking about, on
Hmm.
average, between the ages of 23 to 27, the average girl is settled down. She's bagged and
Mm,
tagged her education. She's bagged and tagged the man. She's done the ceremonies, and then she's starting her family. So now,
mm.
if you're, and circumstances can be that not everybody falls within that line. But
Exactly.
if you're in your early 30s thereabout and you're
Hmm.
female, you feel the pressure of that social norm one, and then that social norm puts pressure on you as well. Because of course, if especially if you're a pretty early 30s something, none
Hmm.
of your married friends would really want you to be gravitating towards their lifestyle too much, and then the men out there will just see you as an. This is what she's describing. Is that not the reality of it, really?
Why are you putting people under pressure, one man? What is all that for? Eh? If you might be pretty and you might not getting it right too. You might be trying your best.
True.
Why are you putting people under pressure? This is unnecessary, for God's sake. Why are they putting people under pressure? You have to do this in your 20s, you have to do this in your 30s, in your 40s. So if things are not working according to plans, then people will be desperate to go and get married to anybody or do what they're not supposed to do. Most of these girls that are giving testimony what God has not done, most of them are not doing the right thing. They're not doing things that are legal. They should go and sit down. It's all their sugar daddy that's funding their lifestyles. So all the good girls that are doing the right things and things are not coming up for them, you put them under unnecessary pressure. We know most of them that spend the weekends in Abuja and they come to give testimony inside their religion homes on Sundays that God has done it again. They should go and sit down. They are all hypocrites. It doesn't matter. Don't put people under pressure. You might try your best, but things are not working out in your 30s. Probably you have not made it. Probably you're not married. Continue to do what you're doing. Something will come up one day. You might get married at 40 or 50s, or you might not get married at all. It's not compulsory. Stop people putting people under pressure. And when you're in your 30s, you're not making it yet. You're still gonna make it as long as you're not a lazy person. And it's for both boys and girls. It's not for girls only. So stop putting people under unnecessary pressure because you're attending a church or a mosque or somewhere that they're brainwashing you. So these things, it's one turn by turn. It's not necessarily. Some people make it in their 20s, some makes it in their 30s, and some might be in their 40s. So why are you saying as if there's a manual to this world? Why do people talk like this? And if you find out about this girl now, she's going to the Eze'S church. Eh? People that are deluded in their brain. Who's the next person that wants to talk? Tell me, please. Can you
Alpha.
just Oh, Chioma. Okay, continue, Chioma.
You know, that remark from that lady. Can you hear me?
Very well, Chioma, loud and clear.
Okay, that remark from that lady, is coming from a shallow mindset. Because I believe that life is not a race. You know, and people are in different stages of their life. So I don't think we should put
You believe
ourselves.
that life is not a race, really? Are you? Is there some consolation prize? What are you talking about?
No, I don't think it shouldn't be a race. You should run your own race. because you don't, because everybody's going through like different things in their life. You understand? So, like most youths living in Nigeria, they're educated and most of them have master's degree and higher. Yet, because of their environment, it makes it hard for them to prosper. You understand? So that's why I say life is not a race, because I'm doing better than most youths. I'm talking about people like from 20s to 40s. But I can't speak like this lady because that's not humble. You have to understand that people are in different environment. People are going through certain things in their life. All five fingers can never be equal. So we just need to like humble ourselves. And then, I also agree with Dipsy, because, people are rushing in and out of marriages. And some people like Jennifer Lopez have been married like 4 times. Not everyone wants to joke with their life like that, you know. So marriage shouldn't be seen as a joke, or something you rush into. You have to really think about it, pray about it, and just have this conviction in your heart that you're in, for the long haul, no matter what. That's it.
Thanks so much, Yoma. Temi, can you unmute? Let's hear
Yes.
your contribution here.
Yes, I mean, I'm adding some even a slightly different perspective because what she's saying, it seems like we already have that pressure in society. I'm wondering why does she need to say the obvious, stigma on young people? Oh yeah, she even said 30, not even mid 30s or late 30s. Like there's a timeline and you have to reach it or your life is a failure. I was just listening between the lines. She was saying something like, if you haven't had your career together or you're not a baby girl. I was thinking, so she's adding a factor of as long as you have money in the bank or you're being spoiled. It's a very desperate move. Okay, you want to become a sugar baby, just for another person to you need to be dependent on. So I'm wondering again, this is terrible advice, and maybe it's just she didn't have enough time to elaborate or anything, but I just think it's ridiculous. But again, when it comes to someone mentioned it's not a race, and really everyone has a different background. You don't know where they were in their 20s. Some people struggled, um, but you could just see that it's just coming from a projective point of view. This woman, she's probably she feels that she's accomplished something in her life, and now she has to rub it on in people's faces, and it's very silly. Well, yeah, that's my input.
Thank you so much, Temi. Pansat, can you unmute? Let's listen to your contribution.
Thank you very much. Now, this one I'm gonna obviously defer to uh, you and Chioma and the rest of the panelists here who have spoken. I don't disagree with what you said. I was here pondering why you have such a beautiful Nigerian woman. I mean, there are many of you here, but Chioma is the younger one here. And I don't know what's happened to our youth out there. You see such a sweet lady talking here. You should get yourself up here, right? I'll be playful with her, make her laugh, tease her. I mean, of course, not crossing any lines while you're doing that. But they're not our guys. I don't know what's wrong with you these days. When I was in my 20s or 30s, I'll be breaking through this show here. Mr. Triumph, get up here on this stage. Now, Dubsi, I would refer to you on the pending item here. I believe that I don't have much expertise on that. But thank you. Chioma, you're such a delight to listen to. It's unbelievable.
Thank you,
That is
sir. I
the same
appreciate
person making all that trouble in the comment section. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pansat. So we all agree, or one man you want to have a contrary opinion to what we said here?
No, no. I think what this lady is doing is to infuse a dose of realism to this woke narrative that a lot of people hide behind. Life is a game of phases. There are certain imagine then let's say for instance you're a 40-year-old person and then you go then down to your educational center to sit your WAEC exam. So you will stand out because, of course, the people you are sitting that WAEC exam with, they are people that they're in their 15, 16, 17, etc. Because that's the phase of life. So what she's talking about is phases of life. And she's telling you then that if you're in a certain phase of life and you've not documented what the previous phase of life has as the norm, then you will stand out as an anomaly. And that's exactly true, especially given the sort of background that we come from. We come from a traditionalist conservative sort of society that has already perfected how life should be structured. And if life goes outside of that norm, then you will stand out as being anomalous to norm. And that is exactly what she is saying. She is saying that at certain phases of life, if you've not documented this, then you have to act deliberately to recalibrate because you don't have the time scope, and because this woke narrative now tells you that you have infinitum to, you can be a baby, so like a flowery floating element in life all the way through. But then you know where the pressure kicks in, when your social circle starts to evolve into a different space and you remain where you always were. So then you are the anti, and then you are continuously the anti, and then in couples event you are the one that is that it's just this is just the way life is structured, and she's speaking to reality. I know a lot of you people like to be woke about everything, but sometimes that wokeism, it's not quite,
Can I
yeah,
put one input to that? Sorry.
yeah.
I was listening. I mean, at first I would agree with everything you're saying. My the angle I would take to this is like I understand that, okay, your better years are spent when you reach a specific age, and then people call it the wall. When you hit the wall, then your hopes are reduced each time you get older. But then what we're saying here is that we already have that societal pressure, even in our own culture, to get married fast, with no understanding of what that comes with. And I don't believe in being woke. Like, that's very more of a recent trajectory. People want to say, oh, you can marry any age. Your first marriage can be in your 40s. We're not saying that. We're just saying, this person speaking now, what is she trying to tell us? Is she telling us that desperately, if you don't have a career, okay, you should be married. If you don't have marriage, you should be a baby, what do you call it, sugar baby? Is that an appropriate form of advice to anyone? And that's my point, is that, okay, what is she trying to say? What context is she coming from? And I don't think she's being sensible from what I heard from this video. So yeah, that was my stance.
And I want to add one more thing. One man, right? Like, there's women that they get married and they can have children till like they're 50. So, it's not good to put pressure on people. Everybody has their own timeline, you know. And there's some people, and that's why I love this country. There's people that acquire like their higher education in their 60s and 70s, they're still working 60s, 70s, even if they're working in the library, they don't do what everyone else is doing, you know, especially like Oyibo people. At their old age, you see them being working as a greeter at Walmart, working at the library, doing extracurricular activity to keep themselves up. We can't just put a timeline like, oh, when we get to this age, we're going to retire and that's it. No, life is for the living. You have to keep going.
All right, brilliant.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Emma, for that. So don't put anybody under pressure, woman. Don't put anybody under pressure.
It's not
Let
even
people.
you, it's
It's
life
you.
that puts you
It's
under
you
pressure.
because you supported that girl. It's you.
Do
So don't
so sorry,
put.
Dipsy, do you not feel that people just innately, through just the circumstances they find themselves, feel
Yeah.
that pressure anyway, even if
Yeah.
all of their their inner circle, they're like woke like you are, and they say all the right words, but the situation. Oh, okay. Imagine a scenario that
Yeah.
you're 32 thereabout. You are single, unmarried. You've not started to have offsprings yet. You go to, let's say, a birthday party for your old school friend. You turn up as a single woman, and then everybody else turns up. They're all girls, so they didn't even bring their partners. But then, of course, in terms of childcare, everybody brings an average of 2 children, and then they're running around with their children. They're saying auntie, auntie, auntie. It's all nice and cozy, and you love them all. But internally, do you not feel the pressure of that situation? Do you not see what
I
I mean?
won't. I don't
You
know.
won't.
I don't know about some other people. I won't. I'm just like that. I'm wired like that. To be confident in whatever situation I find myself, one man. I know a lot of people are under pressure. I understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you on that. But for somebody like me, I wouldn't be under any pressure. If assuming when I was 32, I wasn't married, I would be enjoying my life seriously, and I would be moving forward in my career. Sincerely, I won't be under any pressure. But I know a lot of people are under pressure, especially when they reach that age. And what is causing that pressure? Society, religion, family, and everybody that is talking to their ears. Please, let's stop it. It's not fair. Let people be able to do whatever they're here for. We are here to do a lot more than marriage or having kids.
Do you know what you
Let
sound
people
like to
be.
me, Dopsy?
Oh God, woman, Denny.
Do you know what you sound like? You sound like a multi-millionaire who is now telling us that money doesn't matter. You know, after you have ticked all of these boxes, now you are telling us it doesn't matter. You sound like
One man.
a
And I'm
multi-millionaire who is
telling you
telling us
that
money
if
doesn't
I'm
matter.
not in this situation, I will be contented with my life. That is what I'm saying.
That
I
was a
would
good
have even
analogy,
moved
though.
forward than where I am. I would have moved forward and achieved a lot. But it's good. Marriage is a sweet thing. I'm not discouraging people, but I don't like people putting them under pressure. Do you understand what I mean? Marriage is a beautiful thing. I'm enjoying my marriage. I've been married for the past 24 years now. But don't put anybody under pressure. That is what I'm preaching. Well,
Can I?
man, let's hear Fatai. Is this Fatai that's here? My darling, Fatai.
Hello, Dupsy baby, can you hear me?
Hey, how are you, Fatai?
Only
Good
you
to see
can
you.
bring Fatai in. No Korean,
That's true.
visceral hatred for the rest of. Only
Fatai,
you can bring Fatai in.
Fatai, how are you, my brother? You're welcome.
Dupsy,
Let Yeah,
Dupsy
let's
baby.
listen to your contribution, Fatai. How are you?
my, co- my
Yeah.
contribution is to say it's lovely to hear your voice. And
Oh,
it's lovely to hear the voice of your family as well. That was very good,
yeah,
from
that's my nephew. Yeah,
support.
Timmy.
So,
Yeah, Timmy,
Hello.
that's
very,
Fatai. Say hello to Fatai.
Nice to
That's
hear
my
from you.
brother.
I'm
hello,
glad to
brother.
have you.
Yeah, I'm glad to meet you. Uh, I don't, I don't know what to say, but of course, Dupsy
Okay,
is very
okay.
lovely.
Go on then, Paul. Can I
Yeah,
have?
Fatai.
Yeah.
Let me do this readout, and then maybe you can lead on it. This next one is a moral maze, and I know you like our moral conundrums. So let me read this out, and then if Dupsy wants, then maybe you
Yeah, yeah.
can lead on
But
it. Yeah, go on.
before you go to that, can I just say one or two sentences about the previous topic?
Of course, I
Yeah,
thought you didn't have
go.
any thoughts on it. Carry on.
Yeah, go ahead, Fatai.
And, yeah, I was just wondering where to enter the conversation. I was just so I think okay, okay, I think first of all, she's basically just. I don't think what she's saying is really that interesting because she's basically doing advertisement for for whatever program. So if you think you can derive some I don't know counseling from her program, yeah, maybe that's all right. But other than that, I don't think she's saying interesting. And also, first of all, I think she said the bar too low. because nowadays there are many independent women that are still going on with their independence thing at 30. So if to say somebody is a failure at 30, like the bar is low, you know. Even back in the days gone, they would say a fool at 40 is a fool forever. She's even coming down lower. So I think the way the world is now, even before you graduate with graduate, you're already in your middle 20, and yeah, except for people that start very very early. You're already in middle 20. If you want to do maybe get a postgraduate, you're already going towards 30. So those career women. So if you say at 30 you are nobody, if you're not already the CEO, then a lot of people in the society are already out of it in this modern society. So and even if you link it to marriage, but before you now come to marriage, let's say you're a career person, so it's a business to get a business going, to be top of the world, and getting to marriage. You're already, if that is your line, you're certainly already in your 30s and everything like that. Except if you're the daughter of Elon Musk, okay, maybe you can start early at 20. So I just wanted to say that I think, but I think anyway, I think Dupsy and I think it was Choma. I think they put it very beautifully. Like it's a run your own race. It's basically always be yourself. That's my own favorite line. Although it's general, but it's mine. Always be yourself and run your own race. I even Yoruba, there's even Yoruba proverb even to that. I say, gbọ́dọ̀ máa wá gálà go ṣiṣẹ́, and don't wá gálà go ṣiṣẹ́. Say, if they look person clock, you go run forever. If they look use other person clock, they run. And also they said, èèyàn tó mọ bí ẹgbẹ́ ti là. So because somebody is successful at 30, you now think you're a failure. But do you know how the
Thank you,
person made?
Fatai. And most of those
I
baby
mean,
girls, they are baby girl in Abuja, or they'll be in their church on Sunday giving testimony.
I'm a sorry
Meanwhile,
for me.
what if you want bole during the weekend? Rada rada, baby girl for life.
Yeah, this is now you feel comment down me. I don't feel comment down me. I don't know that one. Me, I don't know about that one. The only thing I know is say I know they look other people clock or I don't know where person make them now. Can't they use it? No, they calculate my own. Except I know where you make them and I'm interested. Other than that, I don't know what it concern me. That's just that's basically what I wanted to say. That, that. So,
All right, brilliant, Fatai. Fatai, your connection is a bit choppy. I'm not sure if it's Bluetooth, but hopefully after this
oh,
readout, you make the adjustments. Let me read this out. It says, you loaned your friend 4 million naira last year, and since then, he has refused to pay back, which has deteriorated the friendship. You beg him to pay you 2 million naira and forget the rest because you are in financial crisis. Your friend then says he can only get you 1.5 million since that is all he has. You feel like you have no option but to accept. You eventually give him your account details to send the amount directly to your bank. You wake up the next morning checking your account and there is 15 million naira in it. You grab your phone and find 53 missed calls from him and an additional 27 text messages begging you to transfer 13.5 million naira since he only meant to send 1.5 million and mistakenly added an extra zero. As a well brought up person, what are you supposed to do? Number one, send back 13.5 million naira. Number two, take your full 4 million naira. Number three, keep the entire 15 million naira. Or number four, switch off your phone and relocate. So, as a well brought up person, which I know you all are, what will be your option? So, Dupsy, there it is.
As, as
Patai.
a well brought up person, I will take my full 4 million and return is it 11 million. Yeah. I'll return 11 million. I will take my full 4 million because my friend is wicked now. So he has up to 15 million that he can transfer to somebody. And he refused to pay my money. My friend is wicked. I will remove my 4 million, my full 4 million, and I return back 11 million and block him. I will block him off because he's not a good friend. My friend is not nice. So I'll block him off. I'll take my 4 million. So let's listen to Fatai's view on that. Fatai.
Yeah. Well, man, I don't know where you said I like morality conundrum or something like that. I don't know. Do I look like that? Do I? Anyway, to the context, I mean, what I like is context. I'm not sure if the context is well played out. So if my friend has a lot of money and is owing me money, has not given me, you know, I mean, look, I always my life, I always edge on. I don't know what kind of friend this is. It's possible my friend could have a lot of money and not giving me the little that I'm owing him or her, and it could be depends on the context. But I think that if you is restricted to this particular case, if he's meant to give me 1 point or whatever it was, I could take. I mean, it also depends on how much pressure I am under with my own financial situation. But if something I could let go, I could give him back the one, given the what 12 something million that is supposed to be over, since it doesn't really have the full what do I call it? Kind of some to give something out of your mind. I could give it to him back. In the negotiation is I have it's an advantage for me over him. I could always. It's always how good to be one up somebody in matter of conscience. So you're supposed to give me back. I give you back even though I'm not supposed to give you back. You better be a good boy. It's a good relationship. Whatever strategy, but that depends on how well off I am. If I'm well off, it doesn't really cost me that much. I could give it back. But of course, if I'm in a very tight corner, I would say, thank God for Jesus. Take back I've taken all my 4 million. Take back the rest of your money. So it all depends on me. If I'm in very good condition, why not? I could give it back as he wanted. Take just the 1 million he wished from his conscience to give me at that point. I could do that. I could take it and give it back the rest. But if I'm not well off, well, I'm sorry. Since he's not like I'm killing him, he has money anyway. So it depends how well off I am, my current condition. That will determine. It will not be him that will determine it, but I will be the one determining. But I could see myself giving back as he wished.
All right. I think Chema wants to come in here, but before
Okay.
Chema comes in, I think Baba is coming in as well via the comment section. Dupsy, he says,
Okay.
I will not only deduct my 4 million naira, but deduct interest too.
Baba.
Morals are for dummies in this context. So morals for dummies in this context. That's how
Baba
Baba sees it.
Korogon. Momo ke
Yeah.
Baba. One legon. One yibobo. Thank you, sir. So who Chairman, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't agree with um you and is it Fatia? I mean, it makes sense for like normal people, but I'm a spiritual person in a sense, and I like to use my senses a lot and my spirit of discernment. If this person is owing you this amount of money and they have so much money in their account, they refuse to pay you back, you have to be careful because there's so many devils in sheep clothing. So I would give him back all the money, send it back to his account, because number one, we don't know what he needed it for. Maybe he's trying to buy a house, and number two, it's not your money until he, willingly, give it to you back. And you have to understand that, you don't loan anyone money that you can't afford to lose. So you just have to exercise patience with this person, And another thing, money is the root of all evil. So you have to be very careful in this life. Everything is it's not about money. You don't know what that man needed that much amount of money for. So just give him back all the money, and then he can send you the one he owed you. And if he doesn't send it back to you, just exercise patience with him. Eventually, he will send it, I'm sure. And if he doesn't, then forget about it.
Chioma, thank you. Àwọn Yorùbá ní okú làákàyè. Làákàyè pọ̀ gan. Ó pọ̀ gan fún ẹ. Ó ṣé, Chioma, thank you so much for your contribution. Temi, go ahead.
I'll hold him for ransom. Let me say this. Let me say this. Because I think I missed part of it. I heard 30 million, and then it enters your account, and I'll have that conversation where I'll speak to him. Oh, yo, bro, you said I told you you owe me money, and you even have more. Let's have a conversation. How come you have more money? You couldn't pay me back. And he gives me his reason. He says he plans to pay me back at a particular time. I'll return the whole money. I'm like, okay. As a friend, that's how I would play. We trust each other. I'll show that
Yeah,
trust.
but
But
hold
if
on,
he's
Temi.
reckless,
Hold on, Temi.
that's
Sorry,
one of
Temi.
yeah.
Sorry, Temi.
Yeah.
So we're talking essentially about a sub story. So is on
Right.
you 4 million naira. You are trying to get your money back from him. He says he can only pay you 2 million. You said okay. You've pushed him hard. You said okay, forget half of it, pay me half back. He says he can pay you only 1.5. So now he
Okay.
types an additional zero, then pays you 15.
Mm.
So now he now tells you now, because you are conceding 2.5 million naira of your own money, or he's not lending you money, he's returning the money you lent him. So
Yeah.
you are conceding 2.5 million naira of your own money only because your financial needs at that time is so pressing.
Right.
So now he sends that 15 million, and then he wants to retrieve it because he has pressing financial needs. So are you going to put his pressing financial needs over yours, or are you going to take the fullness of your money and tell him to go and whistle?
So, the scenario is very clear. So if I ask him, what's this like? Okay, there's a huge sum of mistakenly you gave me everything in your account or something like that, and he was only going to give me 1.5. I would take the 1.5, but I ask what's up, because I'm his friend. I don't want to play this game. If I was in his shoes, I'll be scared. Like, oh my gosh, I sent this amount. His situation might be he needs to pay a huge sum of something. So that's why I would say, okay, I'll just take the part he owes me. But I'll start questioning. I know you have money, but I'm trusting you right now. This is a bit of a difficult situation. It's not my money. The rest of the money is not my money. Should I just take what I lent him and then give the rest? I don't know his situation enough, or I don't think it's fair. Because if it was me, I might have a calculated reason for not giving the money altogether. So that's why I'm even like, I have friends that I genuinely trust. I don't play games like that, especially with money, you know? So that's why I would be more sincere, more like concerning. Because owing money is stressful. It stresses people. I wake up and boy, if you owe someone money, it's gonna stress you. So that's why I would play
Tell
careful.
me, can I
Yeah,
have a contribution?
yeah, go on.
Just I think that the point is the way the story is presented, a friend, it sees you. The reason I say for me, the reason I say it's up to me is that the way this story, as you said, the context is not well defined. The context of being a friend,
Right.
suggesting how deep is the friend, So, but just looking at the way this story is presented, it's presented as a friend who knows that you are well. If a friend knows that, and I know he knows that I am better off than him financially, and he says, and that's the premise for which, even though he has more money than what he's owing me, he couldn't afford to give me back. That plays a lot of factor into it. So if I'm really not in a tight corner, there's not a friend is a friend. If a friend is a valuable commodity, except if you're saying that the word friend there is not really meant to be it's just general use of friend. if it's a friend of mine, there's a lot of accommodation for a friend of mine. If I am in a good position, I could just I would just take the 1.5 that he willingly was willing to let go.
Exactly.
But yeah, if I'm in a tight condition as well, that's another story. It could be more difficult, and I think, and the point I'm trying to make is the story seems to me is presented that two friends whereby what they both understood that the borrower is in a better financial condition than the other one. If that context is changed, it could be something else. But as long as it's that condition, I think a friend is always a friend. A friend is a valuable commodity. Not commodity, sorry. It's a valuable entity.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that, because I think I value my friends in my own personal life. And the thing is, when someone says they don't have money, it could be that that large amount in his account could be for something that's due in, or that's why I wouldn't even say, oh, maybe is he deceiving me. If he could be honest and say, yeah, I had extra money, but it's not for me to spend like that, then I would understand. That's the context I would even want. But I would take the 1.5. But if he is deceitful, I'll hold it for ransom somehow. We'll talk about it, But yeah, that's it. I agree.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Temi and Fatai. My own is I will take my 4 million, but I won't be like Baba. Baba will take interest. Baba is too out. Baba, I love you, sir. So Baba will take interest on his money that he borrowed it from me. I won't bother to take the interest. I'll just take my 4 million. Because remember, when one man read this to us, he said the money is already causing problem between them. So I will take my 4 million. And Chioma, only spirituality is Sonu. Chioma, there's no spirituality here. Nobody talked about spirituality. Torí ẹdẹ nìyẹn yẹn ara church. Ẹdẹ nìyẹn gbogbo nǹkan ní spirituality. We are talking about something physical here. 4 million was borrowed and it wasn't returned. And they agreed on 1.5 million, but the guy mistakenly transferred 15 million. That's what we talked about. If it is spiritually,
In a
I don't get
spiritual
it.
sense, money is the root of all evil.
Eh?
And it's
Money
a
is the root of.
it's a dangerous situation. Some people some people can be really good people, but they turn super evil, like in a blink of an eye, just because of money. It's not worth it at all. So just give him back all his money and then have him resend the one that he initially intended to send you. That's
Imagine
all.
that
Just
spirituality.
to prevent problems.
Let me. He should go and show his power after taking my 4 million. He should show me how spirituality works. Me, some people like me, we don't understand how spirituality works. I'm chairman. So somebody like that should show me how spirituality works. I will remove my 4 million and send him back the remaining 11 million. Somebody like Baba, I support him. He's going to remove his 4 million plus interest and send the remaining money back. Let them come and show spirituality after removing our money. What kind of a talk is that? Spirituality. Why didn't he present spirituality when he wanted to borrow the money? So now we started talking about, see the scam that religion brings to people. I don't understand.
Money is the root
So
of all evil. It's a no-go
where's that
zone
one
for me.
written? Where's that one written?
It's in the Bible. I think it's somewhere in Proverbs, I think Sam, somewhere in Proverbs.
Yeah, it's often misquoted. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil.
Oh, okay. Thank
Not
you,
the
Pastor.
money
Not
itself.
with money. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Pastor has
I
corrected
stand
us.
corrected. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor Pansat.
No
Pansat,
problem.
please go
No
ahead.
problem.
Let's hear your submission on this.
Okay, yeah, I believe that it was posed as a conundrum, like Fatah said earlier, and it was quite interesting thing. But the whole of the panel is, even though it runs the gamut, right? But it's been nicely treated. Fatah was wrong in the beginning with his input into it, but I think that he came back and resuscitated his position by having more nuanced things put into it, right? I believe that
It was the
if
same position, bro. Hey, Pastor, good to hear from you.
you too, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was
now,
just making it clearer about my
no,
position
yeah,
is clear.
Absolutely. With that caveat in it, yeah, that's the right thing. You have to know some of those things. But if the bigger picture here is that we're talking about ethics and morals, I heard Dupsy slap back at Chioma about spirituality. Now, spirituality is important in this because I was in another panel last week and we were talking about the difference between morals and ethics when everybody's hopping on the Labour Party chairman to resign because there's been accusations leveled against him. So in that case, we were making the difference between ethics, where there's a code of conduct or whatever that's making you do something to be professional, to be ethical. There's a code that you have to abide by if you're a doctor or whatever. Now, morals is something that's influenced by your family background, your culture, your religion, your community, and all kinds of considerations, right? So some of those play a role here. And we have to know that. Now, when somebody said this guy may say, I need money, I borrow $4 million, 4 million naira. Yeah, but because maybe he's developing a subdivision, say in real estate. I don't know if you people in United Kingdom know what a subdivision is, but let's say he's building a community, a house, buildings, and it requires 20 million naira in this case. And you helped loan your friend some money and you come prematurely. In this case, I think it was like last year that he loaned him the money. So that's a long time, about a year, right? So yeah, there's a lot of considerations. You just can't go trying to collect that money that way unless you have clear knowledge that he's just a shyster. It's unreliable. So that'll be the things to look at: the ability to pay and unwillingness to pay. Right? If he has the ability to pay you that money at that time, after all, he did pay 1.5 or 15 million back or whatever that was. So there's a lot of nuances to the story. But what you cannot do is to try to take more money. That's so your limit, the max, should be Baba. I don't think anybody else has said just keep the entire. How much was it that was sent? 15 million, right?
15 million. I'm saying that though. I was just waiting for you to learn that my recommendation will be keep the money to punish him, because if he has that money and is trying to diddle you out of your own money, then diddle him out of his.
And you play that devil's advocate all the time, and we're not gonna let you do it today. Most Nigerians that are not talking on the internet probably would do that, even if he's trying to pay him back the first day, right? Most Nigerians will keep that money. So let's just be for real here. It's not just these Nigerians that are getting on the internet. We know our people, right? Let's say you loaned him that money a week and he's trying to get that money a week later and he's paying him that money and he makes that mistake. Most Nigerians will keep that entire money, even though it's just been a week. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why the work we have to do is not to re-emphasize and keep in perpetuity these attitudes. This is our type A personality. That's why no matter how small, every time we're talking, we're going to have to change and go for what's right. Because I said earlier, I'll end with this. Ethically, there are codes. If he calls his bank and say, hey, look, I sent this money by mistake, I want it back, they're going to repatriate that money back to him. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The bank would return that money back to him if he wants to, the entire thing, if you made that payment in error, unless you don't have any access or you don't have any money in your account. And the only money there is that money. If you have other balance there and he reports it as a error, they're going to send him his money back. Thank you.
All right, Dupsy, shall we go on to the last topic or the
Yeah.
next topic?
How about what do you think about this topic, woman? You didn't tell us your
Oh, this one,
contribution.
no, no, I said, I would keep the entirety of the money, not wanting to fraud him, but to punish him. I'll keep it over a period of time. I'll keep it for at least a good 6 months, and then I'll return the difference in a payment plan so that the learning will be reinforced in his mind that if you look to diddle people, then people will look to diddle you.
Yeah.
You see, and you know
Eh.
one man, and you know he will not do that, right? One man, it's somebody on his platform. He has a phone number to all his people there. They call him, he calls them, right? He gives money. He's a nice guy. But he will talk like that, and a lot of our kids are gonna go out there doing something like that. One man, you know you won't do that. So that's not true, right? You're not gonna keep that money. You know that. You're not that kind of a guy. All right.
And another thing, let me say something. One man, you know how long it takes to close a house, and you have to keep certain amount of money in your bank account, you know, before closing. So he can't. Maybe that could be reason why the person didn't want to, touch it. Some people keep money in escrow because of that. So I think we have to be considerate of other factors instead of being selfish, even though we're going through a dire situation, but we have to just give them the benefit of doubt.
I finally agree with Chioma. See, yeah, good point.
Finally, K, tell me, Kilode, you don't agree with your
Finally,
mom most of most of the time.
Chioma is the queen bee of this platform. Well,
See,
everybody agrees with Chioma.
see my nephew. Why? Choma is a beautiful girl. You should be agreeing with Choma most of the time.
Yeah, this one,
Tell me.
I'm 100% behind her with this one, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dupsy, Zita is here as well, but I want to
Oh,
play
good. Okay.
two clips.
Okay.
Both of them, they're quite risque. So
Okay, I will take my leave and I'm gonna watch from outside now. So
all right, brilliant.
thank you very
Goodbye,
much,
sir.
Dupsy. Great show. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks for coming,
Fatai,
darling.
Chioma,
Take
Temi.
care.
One man.
Take
Okay.
care.
Bye bye.
Yeah,
Bye
God
bye.
bless
Bye
you.
bye. Bye bye.
All right, like I said, the two clips are a bit risque, so I'm relying on you to vouch that Temi and Chioma are adult enough to watch this next set of clips. So because this is it's PG-18, this next set of clips. So this one first. Let me play you this one first. This one is just a couple of seconds, but it's quite funky. Watch this. This is a lady who goes into the bank. We're still talking matters money. It says, how do you dress like this to a bank, for goodness sake? What is wrong with people? Tomorrow you hear men are sexualizing women, yet you dress like this to a bank. So this is a lady who just goes casually to withdraw money in her bank, but the way she's dressed.
Make una see wetin person wear come bank o. Una see wetin person wear come bank. Wahala dey o. Almost naked o. Nigeria don scatter.
So that's that. Still along that line, Dupsy, this is now a doctor speaking to that particular topic area and making his recommendations. But do you agree with what this doctor is recommending? Dupsy, watch this.
Concept in physiology, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay. The only form of exercise your prostate gland gets is during erection, and that erection comes with sexual activity. Okay. So the study is abundantly clear that a man in healthy shape should be able to have sexual interaction 21 times a month. 21 times a month to avoid prostate issues, prostate cancer, or cardiovascular issues. If you don't exercise the gland, it swells on you. It becomes enlarged. When it becomes enlarged, that is a precursor to cancer. So yes, you have a beautiful wife. Do whatever it takes to please that woman so she can give it to you 21 times a month. Yeah, but that's if she pleases you, because you have to be in the right state of mind, isn't it? Yeah, but don't quote me to your wife, Dr. Ken. So if she doesn't please you, I advocate to my patients that you can have a side chick. Your side chick could be on contract, but you just know that you need to do your 21 times to avoid prostate cancer. What you are saying is to optimize. To optimize. But if you can't get it at home, you should find a way to outsource that person and let it be optimized. Yes, yes. When you're talking about 21 times, 21 I mean, a lot of people will say it's impossible in our context. The man has not eaten properly in Nigeria. How can he find the strength for 21 times? The man has to be polygamous to be able to achieve that level of frequency. And physiologically, men, our DNA shows that men are actually known to be polygamous. We are wired to be polygamous. Yep.
So there it is, Dopsy, as recommended by a trained and certified medical doctor. A man is physically, medically obliged to do at least 21 times a day. And the doctor's recommendation is that a man should have a side cheek in order to say, and we're talking of risk of cancers, by the way. So that's the past then that side chicks are now allowed. So what are you then making then of both the half-naked bank customer and the doctor recommending that side chicks is the way to go?
Number one, Kulata should be banned from this platform. Agbayani Kulata.
Ó tún ti ń ṣe pátá ń bẹ̀ yẹn.
Ó lọ kọ nǹkan tí ò yẹ kó kọ síbẹ̀. Ẹ lọ ṣe kinní kan 21 times to prevent prostate cancer. Agbayani Kulata.
I didn't even know he had that language, you know.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. You come here now to pretend as if he's one posh guy. Kulata, I know who to report you to. I will report you today. You know the person. I'm going to report you. So yes, about the girl that dressed improperly to the bank. Sometimes these girls, they want to feel free in their skin. They don't want to wear something that's so, too cumbersome on their body. So please don't let us start recording people because they are not properly dressed. You can walk up to them, correct them. And if they don't hear, leave them. Don't record them. That's not good for their own privacy. And sometimes, these Gen Zs too, they are always high on something. Probably she can't even see that she's not decently dressed to a place like that. So please, let's be careful on how we record people. And for Dr. Lagbaja, doctor, I hear you, and you're very correct scientifically that if you don't do it, but that 21 times, so enemy Ninu anatomy book or physiology book. Temi knows a lot about this too. I don't know where that 21 times is written. I know it's good for you to have it, but that particular number, that's what I don't understand. Why 21 times in a month? I don't get that.
Is that practicable for a long-standing relationship? That's virtually once a day. That's essentially, there are 30 days in a month. So that's essentially on average, more or less every single day. Forever, it will prevent prostate cancer.
Yes, and I think I know that the doctor knows that it's not all the time that the woman and the man will be feeling themselves to be able to have sex with each other. I think that's why he suggested side chicks. But I am with the doctor as well. You should always be up to that as a woman too. To have, but I'm not saying that 21 times is correct, but as much as possible that you can have it with your man, or a man can have it with his woman, instead of us to encourage side chick. Do you understand? Let's try and understand each other's body very well. And you, a man, 21 times, can pay just to come without laughing, without smiling, without even helping your wives with some things that she's burdened with. They're telling her to go on bed because Dr. Lagba just said you should have it 21 times. You should know how to cajole your woman. You should know how to take care of her so that she will always be ready for such a thing in your home. So I don't advise that you should go with side chicks because side chicks are running nowadays. And girls rara. So if you can go, you can start using somebody that because you don't want to have prostate cancer, I can just be using this lady on contract. She's a human being as well. You don't just treat people like that. People, they have their own emotions. So don't let us be treating people as if they're just sticks or they're human. They don't have their own emotions running through them. So they're human beings. Don't let us say side chicks. They're just there to sign contracts with you to be able to prevent your prostate cancer. Bro, what are you talking about? They're human beings. Treat people like human. If you want to have a side chick, be emotionally attached to the side chicks. So don't just say because you want to have sex, you go and have somebody that you don't want to be emotionally attached to. So that's where it's dicey. So I think you should actually try and be good in your homes and try and have a better relationship with your spouse so that you understand each other's body and you'll be able to do it as often as possible. I don't know. So I think that's the best thing. Somebody like Kulata, don't go outside Chico. Because I know now you are pitching that 21 times. Don't go and have any. I'll go and report you to your wife. Okay, who's next? Tell me. I want to hear your
Yeah,
submission on this.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was hilarious. I would say to this is someone would hear this now and report to their wife that see, if you don't give me 21 times a month, I could die, from cancer. And that's what the doctor says. And he has his research on I'm guessing he's a urologist. He has his research on the likelihood, but the combination of factors, not just sex. It's weight loss. It could be avoiding, alcohol, smoking, whatever. It could be a combination of things. If he applied that to this, I would 100% agree. But I felt that he had a narrative to push, which was polygamy and have mistresses outside the house. You could just rub one out if you need to during the month to reach that number 21. But that was just funny to hear. Yeah, that's my input.
You said that rubbed one out too casually, and so that sounds like an experienced sort of a comment, right? Yeah, it just as a matter of course, as though it was a. Is that your norm?
No, that's not my point. I'm saying that if you need to reach a certain number, does it mean you have to involve another person in your marriage just to make the point that the doctor said that I need to reach that amount to reduce my likelihood of prostate cancer? Is a likelihood, not as absolute. But yeah, I'm just saying. It's not. It's not in practice.
Thanks so much. Chioma, are you still there, Chioma? Let's listen to your contribution on this.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So, about the lady in the bank, that. Well, my thought is that I mean, she was. What she was wearing is completely inappropriate and very disrespectful. She's not even considering that there might be small children, family men, even horny teenagers, men that are horny, just lurking. And if she gets herself raped, and they'll end up blaming the men that they don't have control, but she is exposing herself in that manner. So it's unfortunate. It's just this generation. I don't know. It's our generation. We're too liberal. That is why I'm a conservative. I like Republicans. I don't like Democrats. I can't stand anything Democrats because this is what they believe in: being free to, be gay and expose yourself, and not having regard for, you know, religious people that don't want to see all those things. Even pastors. Imagine a man of God in a bank having to see this type of, it's so disgusting, you know?
Chioma, show Shereni. Show wine mini. Show wine mini. Show
Benny,
Shereni. Are you joking? Man of
Benny.
God. Oh, today, Chioma, speak to the topic and leave man of God alone,
This
Jare.
is
Show wine mini.
yeah, this is why some men of God they can't just go anywhere anyhow. Their wives have to go grocery.
They have to blindfold them before they go into
I'm
places
telling
like that.
you. I'm telling
Okay.
you.
Chioma,
Yeah.
please go ahead with your submission.
So, and the two gentlemen that were speaking on having sex, right? 21 days. Some couples they lose the fire in their marriage, So I'm not encouraging anything of side chick, but you just have to figure it out, Whatever you want to do in your marriage, if you want to step out for a little bit and come back in, do what you got to do, As long as your conscience is clean and you can sleep well at night. So that's what I feel.
Thanks so much, Yama. AI, hi, my sister. Hello, AI. Zita, are you there? Maybe she's busy cooking. Zita always cooks on Sundays. For time.
Hey,
Oh,
Ducey, how are
oh,
you?
hi, AI. How are you, darling?
I'm
It's been a
good.
while. It's been a while. Happy
Yeah,
New Year to you. Yeah, you can go ahead with your contribution.
I've been
Yeah.
in and out of the discussion. So, what's up?
Okay, so we one man showed a clip of a lady that went to a bank. She wasn't properly dressed. I think she wore a mini gown, a very tiny gown. So a guy was there recording her, showing her dressing out there that she wasn't properly dressed to a place like that. So it wasn't a club, it was a bank that she went to. So that's what we discussed. Then we discussed which one again? About the doctor that advised men to have sex 21 times in a month to prevent prostate cancer.
Okay.
So these are the topics. Yeah.
When I want to speak on topics, I want to take it from two angles.
Okay.
I will speak like just as a Christian, then I will speak generally for those who are not Christians. By the way, what part of her body is showing, if I may ask?
Her legs, actually.
Only her
Her
legs?
Yeah. Her
Then there
legs.
is nothing wrong in her dressing.
Mm.
As a Christian, let me say this. I will quote the Bible for Christians. The Bible says, "Looketh not upon a maiden, lest she be a stumbling stone upon your life." It's a scripture in the Bible. Looketh not. What is the Bible trying to tell you? Do not look at a maiden with so much romance. She's going to be a stumbling block upon your life. But let me say this generally. Now I'm trying to talk like somebody who is not a Christian, so that people who are not Christians will understand me too. You see, a woman is created in a way that every part of her body is attractive. Every, from her head to her toes, are attractive. It depends on who is looking. That's why you see some religion will want to mark a woman from head to toe so that no part of her body will be seen. Some people who are not in that religion has not bothered to ask why. Because every woman's body is attractive. That's the way God created us. Cover your hair. A woman's hair is very attractive. It can lead a man. It can make a man, it can be a stumbling stone upon a man's life. Her eyes alone can be a stumbling stone upon a man's life. Her legs, the way she speaks, her fingers, her nose, her set of teeth. That's how we are created. So if a man or somebody will indulge in looking at a woman and saying because the way a woman is dressed, some people like them dressed covered totally. That's when they attract them. Some people, the way she is dressed as a man, instead of attracting him, is going to repel him. It will nauseate him. He wouldn't want to have anything to do with a woman that is dressed like that. Meanwhile, some men, this will be so attractive to them. But some men, when they see you map your gele, your turtleneck with long skirt, they are attracted. Men love what they see. So saying because a woman, a girl wore a short gown to a bank, by the way, why do we in the tropics wear suit and cover ourselves up so tight? The weather is too hot. We should be wearing a little bit, sleeveless and short things and things, standards and things like that to get fresh air. But because our religion and our culture, our tradition will not allow women to dress that way. Well, Ducey, I don't see anything wrong with
No, Madam Zita, it's not just she's wearing a gown. Her whole bottom was exposing. You can see her underwear.
Yeah, butt cheeks. Yep.
Yeah, everything was exposed.
What is she wearing as an underwear? Is it boxers or pants?
She was wearing a G-string.
Oh, well, that one is bad. If she's wearing a G-string, then that one is bad. But if she's just wearing a short gown,
see, look at the video. Look.
Just hold on.
It's more about if she's okay. Is she, almost like a concern. Is there everything okay? If a man
if she's wearing a pants, a G-string, then I don't think she's in a sound mind.
Right.
Yeah, that we shouldn't be discussing her. Maybe she's not in a sound mind because nobody wears a pant to the bank.
Exactly.
I was just thinking she was just wearing a short gown, no matter how short it is. Even if it's a T-shirt with a boxers, that's okay. But if somebody walks naked, like wearing a pant to a bank, then it's a concern. We shouldn't be discussing. She has some mental problem. And something is chasing her, by the way. Then for the man that says
she wasn't wearing G-string, so I think Chioma was just intimidated by her hot legs. See if that's what it is.
If she's wearing I saw a big T-shirt and the boxers, that's okay. That's perfectly okay. Talking about attraction, making people arousing men. Some men looking at her, we get pissed off. Why some we get attracted? So that is not the target. The target is who is looking.
Zita, Chema is more concerned about men of God going to a place like that and seeing that
Which
kind
men
of
of God?
I don't know. I don't know. Zita, Zita, help me, help me with Chema.
I mentioned children.
You did actually.
Oh my God,
you
leave that men of God.
Men of God,
men of God,
and children, married
I
men,
agree.
children.
I agree. But men of God, leave men of God out of this. Let's talk about
the
children.
bank to deposit the tithes. So,
Chioma. Zita, go on. Zita, go on.
The man that says, he said he's a medical doctor that said men should have side skills so they can do a lot of things to make themselves healthy. I would have loved to ask him if that is the only thing that causes prostate cancer, because that's a wrong information he put out there. That's not the only reason why men do have prostate cancer. There are a lot of reasons. And by the way, cancer is a disease that they have not actually pinpointed why it happens. So why is he saying that? Is he trying to cause catastrophe on earth or what? By saying a man should have a sidekick and then continue doing it with energy. He that is speaking, can he do 21 times in a month? That's the question the interviewer should have asked him.
Facts.
Can he? Or is this just to sit down on a table and blah blah? That a man should do 21
Is the 21 times for me,
Zita? What kind of comment is that?
Why that specific number? That's my own problem. Why 21 times?
21 times means almost every day. That's what he's telling you. Almost every day. That's what he's saying.
Oh, he's
and
such
if
a
he
funny
can't
man.
get a woman to do it with him every day, his wife cannot, he should go and look for a sidekick. And somebody said that, and they kept quiet. This is how they ruin our society, honestly. A man should get a sidekick, and he's called himself a doctor. And the only thing that he's so passionate about with him is sex, causing prostate cancer. That's all. Do you see? That's a wrong information. That's not only the thing that causes prostate cancer. A lot of things are associated with it. Is there any other thing you want me to say?
That's why I said even.
I agree. Yeah, I think Temi said that too, that eating healthy, exercising and all that. You just have to be wholesome in the approach to your health. It's not about if you even if you're having sex that much, you're not eating properly, you're still gonna collapse anyway. So it's
Yeah,
not
but the doctor also
yeah.
talked about exercising the glands as
Oh,
well.
okay.
That they
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
be
yeah.
exercised. So it's not just
The,
the healthy eating.
exercising the
You
glands
have
means
to purge
sex.
out what is
Yeah, it
Exercising
means
the
condensed
sex.
within.
glands means
Yeah.
sex. But we are talking about general exercise of the body. When he's saying exercising the glands, that means he doesn't want the glands to swell up. That's having sex. You have to actually empty it. Empty as it producing, you empty as it
Yeah,
producing and
and
it
the
will swell.
prescribed medical
Yeah.
advice is 21 times a
Níbo
day.
ló ti rí yẹn? Ṣé ní wo
And,
anatomy and
and
physiology
you
book
need
náà kọ
two
sí?
women for that. Yeah.
Níbo ló ti rí yẹn? That's my own
Oh,
problem. That
man.
21 times that Kulata is so excited about. Where did he see that one? That's my own concern here.
Madam
So,
Ducey,
yeah.
Madam Ducey, the way all of you speak about, actually, that's why I came in anyway.
Okay.
The way you
Okay.
guys spoke about the money issue, I think I should
Okay.
be borrowing money from all of you.
No, not me, oh Zita. Me, I said I would take my 4 million and return 11
And when
million.
I
And
borrow,
Baba
I will
said he would
not
take
pay.
his own interest on it. Not
Well,
me, it's the Gen Zs, Temi, Chioma. These are
Madam
the posh
Zita,
ones. And
Madam
Fatai.
Zita,
And
yeah.
I will,
Fatai.
I
I
value
will borrow
friendship.
you now. Madam Zita, you know, say if my party, I will borrow you now, even if you don't pay back now. And because I'll talk to it's my party. Oh.
Who said you value friendship? Somebody said
Yeah,
it.
me over here. Tell me.
Tell
Yes.
me. Let me say
Yes, please.
something. You shouldn't have anything to do with friends like that. That's my candid advice to you. If you call yourself my friend and you run to me when you need help, and I am in a position to give it to you, and I gave it to you, and the time comes for you to give it back to me as agreed. I'm trying to be specific now because the story was not covered. There are some areas of the story that was not covered. And you have 1 million excuses why you will not give me back the money. And you never mentioned to me as a friend that you have 15 million. But bros, sis, that money tight. I get them for something. You didn't mention that. And I needed some small cash. I said, okay, fine, you can't pay the 4 million, give me so amount. And you mistakenly wired 15 million. Number one, I'm going to instantly take my 4 million. I will not take more than that. And if I want to be mean, because sometimes I love being mean, I will transfer the money within seconds into 4 or 5 different accounts in different banks. And then I'll get a lawyer. If I want to be mean, I'm going to use the 11 million remaining to sue you. And that's what I'm going to use to pay the lawyer. But if I don't want to be mean, I will take my 4 million and return back your money. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with such women because they are dangerous. Let me tell you something. I have somebody talking about spiritualism. Spiritualism most times is not jazz, prophecies, and divination. Sometimes spiritualism is the situation of the mind and your inner thinking. If you have a friend who sees you as a millionaire or as a billionaire and believes that a billionaire should die, a billionaire should suffer, I found myself in that shoe. Giving somebody money and the person come back to, by the way, what you want I can do. That means you have so much that you don't have anything to do with it. So she's not going to return it. And let me advise you, tell me, do not give money, borrow money to anybody, no matter the amount you cannot forgo. If somebody comes to you, you want to lend the person money, make sure you are lending the money you can forget. If he asks for 4 million and you know you can forget 1 million, whether he brings it or not, you don't care, like bashing him Me, sometimes when people come to borrow money from me, if they're in dire need, I dash it. I don't
Madam
actually
Zita,
borrow.
can I contribute?
Let me
If you
finish,
like.
please.
Yeah, let me finish.
Give him the money that you can forget and keep quiet. He brings it, doesn't bring it, he doesn't bring it. But stop borrowing people money because it can kill. I understand the spiritualism. I had a case my cousin was running. What happened? Somebody borrowed somebody money. When she wanted it. She went there several times. On this fateful day, she went there. The lady poured acid on her. Are you kidding me? The lady is in jail today, but the other one died from the acid attack. You borrowed money from me and you battered me with acid. So we have to be very careful. That mind is not that free. By the way, why would you want to have a friend like that? I mean, you should choose your friends now. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with a friend like that in the first place.
I would address what we even explored was the situation that if I'm receiving more than than he claimed he had, or he had 50 million, I don't know how much again, 30 million in his account. Chioma mentioned how it could be for rent that's due in, that it needs to be deposited on time. Am I being deceived by my friend, or is it that he's going through a situation that I don't understand? He was willing to give me 1.5 million right now. This is a long-term friendship. I don't know how other people make friends, but a certain type of friend I'm willing to give money to lend is someone I know I can trust long-term overall. If he's willing to pay me over time, he will.
Exactly.
That's my point, right? And
Okay.
I think people jump to it because they're seeing, is he deceiving me? He has more money than he can give
No,
me back.
let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Do you know the slogan for emergency?
Say that again.
Do you know the slogan? There is a slogan for emergency.
Right. No, could you say it?
Okay, let me say it. If it's not life-threatening, it's not emergency. So if that situation he has is not life-threatening, then it's not emergency. I will not. If that situation, in the first place, that's the only reason why I can give borrow somebody money. If it is life-threatening, you run to me as a friend and said, look, my son is dying. I need this surgery. We need to do this, and I don't have a much money. That's life-threatening. I will give you the money. But if it's not life-threatening, it's not an emergency. So I'm not going to give it to you. And I keep saying, let me repeat it again. Tell me, you do not have business with such friends. I'll keep saying that. You do not. Please don't keep such friends. That friend you will open your heart to and say, I need 4 million. You say, you run around and give him the 4 million. And then he didn't find it easy. It's not easy for him to tell you.
A friend that does not respect me.
That does not respect you.
Yeah.
He didn't even say, look, tell me, let me be honest with you. I have 15 million. But this 15 million is for my wife's surgery. Or I have 13 million out of it is for her surgery. I need to give you 1.5. Let me hold 500 for that. That's a friend. That's a friend.
Yes.
You can say, okay, give me the 1.5. That's a friend. But lying that he doesn't have money, he doesn't have enough to give you, the only thing he can afford is 1.5. And then, boom, 15 million. What am I doing with such a friend in the first place? Are we going about looking for friends? I don't know about you, but I don't go about looking for, I don't even need any in the first place. So, I should just relate with human beings like human beings. That intimacy sometimes hurts because depends on the kind of person you are. If you are somebody who is very open, you open up to the person and you never mind. But
Madam Vita, what if it's your brother, your sibling, your sister?
That's a different thing now. Your sibling
Some people have long-term friendship that is close to.
Absolutely.
See, let me tell you one thing you have to understand.
We shouldn't harden our hearts
Chioma,
like that.
this one-time friendship, you know what is a long-time friendship? A long-time friendship is like two of you are one. In fact, if it is what you are looking at as friendship, the other one will even know he has 15 million that is tied down. The one he's owing 4 million, if it's that kind of friendship we are talking about, the other one will know he has 15 million. He will even tell him, hey, what about that your 15 million in the other place? Can't you give me 4 million? Then he will say, bros, you know what that 50 million is. That is the friendship we are talking about. But I don't think these two people have such friendship. They don't.
Well,
I think we're
some people keep some certain things, private. You
Let me
gotta
tell you,
right.
relate to your
Chioma,
friend.
every relationship is not friendship. But every relationship do not have a name. It's not all relationships that have a name.
Madam
There are
Zita,
some
can I say something?
relationship that doesn't have a name. You can't call it brotherly, you can't call it friend, you can't call it auntie. They don't have a name, but they exist. But every relationship is not friendship. That's one thing most humans have to understand. That somebody comes to your house, you gist with him, you laugh with him, you play with him, does not necessarily make that person your friend. You
Of
can be calling
course,
somebody your
of course,
friend.
but we're talking about legit, like
This is it.
long-term
That's what
friendship.
is friendship
Mm.
now. Friendship
You
is
don't
legit
see
No,
it
no,
now.
Yeah,
as
no.
don't see it as your church
We're
friend.
loading it. Right.
Friendship is
Yeah.
yeah.
legit now. The
When we
word
talk about
friendship is
when I think
legit.
about friend, I'm
Excuse me,
thinking of
can
a
I say
friend.
something? I just have to go. Can I just say 2 minutes? I have to because I have just because I have to go. Madam Zita, it's good to hear good to hear from you again. I think like from the beginning it was said the context is very narrow. So say just a friend, because if you consider what is it, the problem is what I see is my problem to choose a wrong friend. If I don't have the judgment to choose friends, that's my problem. But
Thank
if
you.
I don't,
Thank
if
you.
I choose, if I have a friend, if I somebody I call my friend, I don't call everybody my friend. Everybody is not my friend. I have very narrow criteria for my friends. But if I have a friend, I don't really. If the point or even the point of friendship is even fault, there's nobody that can say I've never been faulty to my. I have been faulty to people, to my friends, and they have been faulty to me. The fault is not the problem. For me, a friend of mine, I am willing to absorb some fault for a friend of mine. So I think the problem is how do you choose a friend? What do you consider a friend? It's not everybody that I meet on the road as my friend. It's not There's a difference between my guy and my friend. Okay, you're my guy, okay.
Thank
But
you.
I have very strict but if somebody that I consider my friend, it all depends on if I have the capacity to let go of the money. If I have the capacity to let go of the money, I will let go of the money. I will return the money. Even if he says that, yeah, I wrongly send you 15 million, but I'm not really in the
No, Fatah,
position to
I
even send
disagree.
you.
That's lack of integrity now, Fatah. Why will
No,
you
no,
let go of the money? The money was
no,
borrowed, actually. Why will you let go
no.
of the money? That's
I
lack of
said,
integrity on your friend's part. You shouldn't let go of the money. It was borrowed, actually. It should be returned.
no,
Sometimes you
it's
have
not
to let go
the
because if
issue,
it's a
madam.
genuine friendship, that
Baby,
person will come to terms that they're wrong, and I
Okay,
can
Agreed.
give
if you
my
let
friend
go,
back
will
the
you
money.
still keep that friend? I'm
Huh?
asking. If you let go, will you still keep that friend?
madam,
From a
madam,
distance, yes. From a distance, I'll keep my distance.
I'm calling you to borrow some money from you. I love that.
yeah, but the question is been the point is been asked from the early on. Who is your friend? Who is your all those things doesn't matter. A friend is like somebody. A partner is a friend that became something with something else. So if it's your wife who is now like a big friend that is in a bigger form, what am I? I'm gonna shoot her or my partner or whatever. If my friend, I'm not gonna shoot my friend for any reason. But the problem is he my friend? And I have a very strict criteria for who are my friends. I don't have a problem that my friends have faults. That's the point I'm making. If I am in the position to be able to absorb the shock, the fault of my friend, I will absorb it. But the point is, I don't think the description doesn't fit my friend. That's what I was. But if it fits my friend, I will absorb shocks from my friends. That's all. That's what I wanted to say. And also the cost. Madam Lisa, you said you would take a lawyer. Sometimes the cost of them fighting, they might not really be worth it at the end of the day. But all of that doesn't even really matter. Well, I think what really matters is the definition of friendship. Who is a friend? What is a friend? You know. And just lastly, before I go, they this I think the point that they made. I think the doctor is just an alarmist. You know, you can, if you like, have sex 21 times in a week. You know,
He's an
that's very nice. If you can have sex 21 times in a week, but linking it to cancer, it's just scaring people. Yeah, maybe there's something that, I mean, there's billions and billions of cells in the body with different do play different roles. You know, people don't need to use their expertise to be bullying people around. Like, you know, I think he just wanted a television time. You know, like Dupes, as you said, why specifically 21? You know, there's no, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so, but I would consider him an alarmist. Like saying cancer, people just shout these things sometimes. You know, they just put it there to get it's going to cause you cancer. There's many reasons. I mean, actually, I think what people really advise, professional advice, is regular sex. You know, so regular sex is very good. So and then it's personal. That's why people have even counselors. Some people regular sex is 3 times in a week. Some people regular sex is 7 times in a week. You know, so regular sex is good, but saying if you don't have 21 times, you are liable to get whatever cancer. Anything can cause a cancer. Cancer is a very serious, it's a very dynamic situation. You know, I think when Mr. you said it, nobody is understood totally all the things that cause a particular cancer. You know, there are
And
things that are likely to cause it, but I think to say 21 times otherwise, it'll be alarming. And yeah, that's what I'll say. Thank you, Lucy baby. Thank you,
Right.
Madam Zita, everybody. Tammy
Thank you.
Choma, everybody.
Just to add to what
Uh,
he just said, I would say even those who are predisposed to getting prostate cancer, they probably have had years of problems down there, erectile
yeah,
dysfunction,
yeah,
libido.
yeah.
So even that, they might not be able to reach 21 days a month. You know, they might be struggling themselves. So that's
Yeah,
to account for that. Yeah.
actually, and there's a lot of people like if you take that as a gospel, you know how many people will have a problem. There are many people they don't have the opportunity to be able to do this. Are you saying all of these
Right.
people are condemned to having prostate cancer? You know.
Oh, no, Fatai, he wants to kill men before their time because that's what David I don't know. I don't know whether Fatai and
But
David
Fatai,
has
I
that kind
support
of
that if you're
friends.
sexually active, you
Maybe
should.
one man has
If
that
you
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can,
should.
friends. Make una has
Ah,
them.
yeah. If you're
Dupli,
sexually
baby,
active and your
if
partner
you're
can match
sexually
your
active,
energy,
if you're sexually active 21
yeah.
times in a week, sometimes happens.
No, in a month, not a week.
Even in a week happens, you know.
Yeah, if you're
Morning, day,
sexually
night.
active, yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah.
sexual, it happens, man.
But
Anyway,
I don't agree that you have to tell somebody that it's 20. Then how can you
yeah,
just
yeah,
quote
yeah,
that
yeah.
number like that?
I
That's
just
what I'm against.
it's
Well,
alarmist. It's an alarmist.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. It's an alarmist. I
Thank
agree
you,
to
Dupsy
that.
baby. I just have to
Thank you for
run.
Tai.
Thank
Love you
you,
so much,
Dupsy. Thank
brother.
Lucy,
you.
I
God
got
bless
to
you
Thank
for
you,
coming.
go.
Lucy.
I have
Yeah,
some
thank you.
visitors.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Mama
AI,
Bye.
thanks.
Ayo,
Thanks
everybody
so
Bye,
say
much
bye,
for
bye.
bye, bye,
coming.
bye.
Temi,
AI,
who
thanks
else?
so
Who
Thank
much.
else?
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Chioma,
so much.
who else? I
Temi,
can't see this person. Who is
Temi,
this?
Thank you,
Folly
Madam
B.
Sita.
Temi.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you so much for your
Yeah,
input.
yeah,
thank you.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank
It's
you,
Bye.
Thank you
nice
so
hearing
much,
from
Lucy.
you.
Zita.
It's nice listening to you.
We expect you again next week. Folly B, please go ahead and let's hear your contribution on this.
I'm actually here to listen to your conversation. I'm learning. I'm learning from you
Oh,
guys.
right. I'll just add to the last point. You know, I was agreeing with what was said about.
Fun is 40 times a month, man. So
No,
it's just
yeah, that's why he's learning. 40 times around a month.
I'm not sure that is supposed to have a particular time that you can have it in a month. spirit directs you and you're actually in love with someone you are keeping around with, I think sex is a good thing. I'm not seeing it as something you can be giving time to. That's my own side of it anyway.
Thank you, Foley. Temi, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just add into the friendship topic again. Just to quickly say, I know some people have a different term for friend. Honestly, the only type of friends I would lend money to are usually people who would even give me money without asking to borrow it back. So I'm not really going around lending anyone money just like that. It's really someone who I've already vetted, and I know we've really gone through stuff together, that would be giving large sums of money like that. And he was even willing to already pay me 1.5 at this stage. He mistakenly sent that much. I don't, the type of relationship I have where I'm giving money like that, I wouldn't really be playing games like that. I would joke with him, but if he opens up and tells me why, he will have a good reason. But again, I'm not dealing with friends that other people deal with, so I might understand other people's frustrations. But I got the friends I make, we go to war together. They'll fight for me. So just dropping them off like that, someone I would lend money like that to, that's not my experience. But
I
yeah,
love that emphasis
yeah,
on they will fight for me. We go to war
facts.
together. I love that so much. Thank you.
I think Dubsy is occupied right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, what do you guys want to say again about all the topics? And Choma will come. I will make sure one man arrange a session for Choma to come and educate us more about spirituality. When spirituality is on,
How about Mike?
and
I want to hear Mike's, input on
okay, Mike is not here
yeah,
though.
he's a
I don't.
traditionalist.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know
it
what
would be
happened to Mike
very
today.
interesting to hear.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree totally, Chioma. But he's not here. Probably he's busy today because he usually comes
No,
for
I mean
this.
like a session for him,
Oh,
right?
a session, a separate
Yes,
session for.
it would be so interesting.
I agree.
Dupsy, do we
So
want to start to bring it home?
yes, we should because I think Folly B, do you have any thing you want to say to us before we close?
No, no,
Folly
no,
B,
no, no.
yeah, okay, okay, Folly B.
Mm,
Thanks so much for coming.
mm,
One man, I think
thank
yeah,
you.
Chioma, yeah. Do you want to say anything
No,
before we
I,
close?
I I really enjoy your session, and I'm here for it all the time for you.
Thank you, Chioma. You're such
Thank
a
you.
darling. But how come you fight always on the comment section? Your
Well,
voice doesn't match your writing.
Well, because it's the comment section, I feel like comment section is like a free flow, it's freedom of speech. You can say whatever you like, but on a
You,
panel, like you
yeah,
really have to, tone it down a notch. Just like calm down because you don't know who's listening. But a comment section, I mean, you can go along. You can just do what you want to do and curse.
really.
Yeah.
Your voice doesn't even match what you write down. Seriously, I always wonder: is this Chioma writing or somebody else? I
Yeah.
don't understand. Your voice is so calm, so cool, so beautiful. I wish I can see your picture one of these days.
Definitely one of these days.
Yeah,
I think one
yeah.
man has seen my pictures before.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
good. So you should show your face or your picture to us one of these days.
Yes, I
Thanks
will.
for supporting us always, Chema. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Temi, do you want to say anything to us
Yes,
before we close?
no,
Yeah.
I generally like this conversation. All the topics were really good. Um, yeah. Everyone has a different perspective. Sometimes I think a lot of people think the same way, but there's a lot of outlandish views I'm not used to. So I like to hear them, and it gets me, it gets me
Like what?
heated.
Like when Choma says people pastors go inside the
The
bank.
bank.
So,
The bank.
yeah. So people shouldn't
That shocks
dress.
me. That shocks me. Honestly, sometimes I'm like,
Choma.
wow.
Oh my god.
But it's
I
true,
can't.
you just go, okay, what if it's an elderly man that is just like
But
looking at her
most of
breast?
Chioma, most of these pastors are promiscuous actually. They
I know,
love
but
women.
just imagine if it's somebody's grandfather also.
Even a grandfather can look.
It's
We are
not
just talking
fair.
about her herself. Probably, I think she must be high on something, and I don't
Yeah.
Yeah,
even like the way they
especially a bank.
videoed her.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a bank, not a club, anyway.
Mm.
So she wasn't dressed properly to that place. So I agree to that. So Temi and Choma, thanks so much for always supporting
Thank
Dipsy
you.
Baby.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
This was
much.
great.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so
you're
much, Temi.
welcome.
Thank you,
Bye,
Choma.
Chioma.
Thank you. Bye
Thanks.
bye, Penny.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Take
Bye.
care. Thanks, Choma. God bless you. Thank you, everybody, for coming for our Sunday sermon. Thanks so much. So please, we usually start at 9:30, and remember, I live in Canada. Woman lives in London, so the time difference is about 7 hours. Sometimes woman will just be worried that I'm not, you know, I'm not responding to his calls or something, but I'm still sleeping. It's Sunday morning. So I usually rest on Sundays like that. So please don't be annoyed sometimes when I come late. And I've not been coming. That's not my fault. That has been one man's fault. So don't say Dupsy is always late. No, I'm not a late comer. So just have it in mind 9:30, and I think that will be like 3:30 in UK. So I think we should start 9:30 a.m. Canada time. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming to contribute. And I thank Mr. Alexander Gomez, the chairman of the platform. Thank you so much, sir, for your support always. Kando, thank you so much. Adeoriokin, blessed to a blessing. Thank you so much. Peters, thank you so much for coming to support us today. Thank you. We appreciate the fourth. Fourth is always here to support. Thank you, fourth. Thank you so much, brother, for coming to support all the time. And thank you, Dupsy Baby. I'm thanking everyone for attending. Kulata, oh God, Kulata, I'm a bruku. Thank you so much, Kulata, for always supporting. Thank you so much, Kulata. We appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming. We enjoyed the session. Please come again next Sunday. We'll be expecting you. Thank you, my boss. You know I got nothing for love, but love for you, woman. God bless you. Take care.